So NIP have just announced the signing of Aleksib as well as the benching of Plopsky, and in the HLTV article written by Striker, there were a few very interesting details that I want to go over today. So I'm going to discuss the move and how I think about the new NIP roster overall. So the first thing to talk about is why is NIP making this move in the first place? NIP have been in a very similar spot for a long time. In fact, the NIP COO Calc cited that the team had shown signs of stagnation. Right now they are ranked at number 6 in the HLTV rankings, and of course this will most likely drop due to the roster change. But the team has also been comfortably sitting within that HLTV top 10 for over a year at this point. The team also recently had a very poor result at ESL Pro League, but when you look at the grand scheme of things, NIP have been a team that consistently places top 8 at almost every single big tournament. So they're pretty good, but not necessarily contending for titles. So in my mind, NIP really want to start competing against the top teams with a lineup. In terms of what Aleksib can bring to the team, I've previously discussed that G2 was not really a great fit for Aleksib's calling style. G2 needed a system that was a lot more loose and focused on the star players excelling in their roles. NIP is definitely a better fit for Aleksib's style. You can see the influence of the NIP system that has been integrated already. It's like a well-oiled machine where everyone does what they are supposed to do and everyone knows what to do in each situation. I personally think that the style is going to integrate perfectly with how Aleksib likes to call. It's also great that in the NIP team there doesn't really seem to be any egos, and for the most part it seems like Aleksib is going to be able to thrive in this new NIP roster. However, the thing that I'm most concerned about is the roles and communication on NIP. Ever since Device took his leave from the team, NIP has never really had a good AWPer. When you look at the top teams right now in Na'Vi, FaZe, and Vitality, these teams all have really good AWPers, and it's extremely hard to compete at the top right now without a strong AWPer. Esatag is okay as a secondary AWPer, but he should never have really been the main AWP for a top 10 team. Now they are moving the main AWP role to Rez, but this doesn't really fix anything. It's the exact same issue, if not worse. Rez should not be a main AWP player. He is an 8 out of 10 rifler, but a 4 out of 10 AWPer, meaning he should be a star rifler, not an AWPer. So the roles on the team are just a little weird. Obviously, Aleksib is the IGL, I think he's a great fit, and Hampus is probably going to be a lurker and secondary caller, which is actually a better role for him in my opinion, so that's good. Like I said, Rez on the AWP is probably not a good idea, but we'll see how it pans out. I assume Brolin is going to be in the same role as before. He has been the highest rated player on NIP since joining the roster, so he's doing really good work. Esatag is most likely going to be a supportive element for the team now. I do feel like his role could have actually been pretty interchangeable with Plopsky, who I think may have actually done this role a lot better than Esatag. When you actually watch what Plopsky's role was on this team, you can tell pretty quickly that he took all of the bad spots and actually did a really good job with the resources given to him. So for me, I actually probably would have cut Esatag instead and kept Plopsky in this lineup, but I can understand the argument for Esatag staying in his place as well. So obviously, it kind of just feels like we've gone sideways with this roster move. There's some positives in that the tactics are going to be a lot better, but we've also lost a lot of firepower in Rez because now he's AWPing, of course. At least with Esatag, you're going to get a similar output in terms of fragging whether he's on the AWP or not. But Rez has been the second highest rated player on this NIP lineup as a rifler, not an AWPer. Another huge thing that some people may have missed about this NIP roster move is the fact that the team is going to be transitioning from communicating in Swedish to English. This is really strange. It's been mentioned before that Brolin has never really been keen on the idea of international lineups, and some of the members on NIP, such as Hampus and Rez, may have not really had much experience communicating in English in a team environment. So it really begs the question, can NIP really succeed in an English-speaking lineup? Because to me, it feels like the team may actually suffer a loss in team play, which, by the way, is one of the key strengths of the previous lineup. They weren't really winning rounds based on incredible tactics or star players. The number one strength of their lineup was their team play, and it made them an extremely unique team to watch. Now, by going international, it really feels like they're going to lose that, so that kind of sucks in my opinion. So overall, I do think that Aleksib is a great upgrade in the tactical department. I think that the roles of the pieces around him are a little weird though, so it's going to be very interesting to see how the team transitions, especially now speaking English. But with the European RMR less than a month away, I can't really help but feel skeptical at best about the new NIP lineup.